All the T sister wives Kody Brown, Meri Brown, Janelle Brown, Christine Brown, and Robyn Brown's split sister wives stars Kody Brown, Meri Brown, Janelle Brown, Christine Brown, and Robyn Brown really did have something great. But after 3 failed marriages, what's left is a lot of finger-pointing. Perhaps, as Kody Brown once claimed, love is meant to be multiplied. But it's also the reason the sister wives patriarch's family was divided. Because in order for plural marriage to be successful, the father of 18 opined during the TLC series' 19th season, you can't have ridiculous, inconvenient, consuming, can single quotes T-live- without -each-other. Love. Or, as the 56-year-old put it during the final episode June 18th, polygamy doesn't work if you're going to actually fall in love. And he and Robyn Brown, the divorced mother of 3 he began courting and eventually wed to decades after marrying Meri Brown, Janelle Brown, and Christine Brown, fell in love hard. Kody acknowledged hard. He instantly noticed a marked difference from how he felt about his first 3 spouses, he admitted, but had no intentions of shifting away from it. But Kody did recognize he was taking a risk by exchanging cladding rings with his 4th wife. As he reflected on the show, I'm sitting there with my journal going, God, what's going on? I'm already in love. I already have 3 wives. Well, had anyway. Starting in late 2021, Christine, then Janelle, then Meri announced their splits from the former salesman, leaving Robyn as his sole wife. And in the aftermath, Kody lashed out. Robyn mourned the end of her plural family dreams, and all 3 of his exes attempted to explain exactly what went wrong. Admitting that the issues with their shared husband went back decades, Meri detailed all the ways she felt abandoned by the man she fell for at age 19. Christine accused him of being very greedy, and Janelle dubbed her ex inherently selfish, stopping just short of labeling him a narcissist because I am not qualified to diagnose him. But I guess everybody will have to decide. As for Kody, who claimed at multiple points that he never loved his first 3 brides, I get defensive. He admitted of how he handled the situation. I wouldn't have started out being mean to any of them, but when they left, they got mean. I was counterpunching, and the resulting boxing match was fierce. We tallied up all the jabs, hooks, and uppercuts delivered. Meri Brown says Kody Brown gave her hope for their marriage. Kody Brown insisted he was ready to divide himself from first wife Meri Brown shortly after their 1990 vows. But he led me to believe that he would work on things by saying, oh Meri, when we move to Flagstaff, this will be a good time to have a new beginning for us, Meri shared in the Sept. 15 premiere, referencing their 2018 move, like he led me to believe those things. This is what he's done for many, many years. Her main gripe, she shared, is his lack of communication and how he really felt and what he really wanted or what he really didn't want, and the story that he's been telling for all these years. And while Kody acknowledged that there may have been mixed messages, it was only because as he started to work on things, I'm like, why would I do this? He explained, I would not court and date her now. Either way, Meri's friends were thrilled when she finally pulled the plug in early 2023. They're like, okay, we're here for you. We're supporting you. And it's about damn time, she confessed. Blinders off, she now feels that he had been trying to get her to walk away for years by insisting he didn't love her. Because if he can push me out and I leave, he's not the bad guy because he didn't walk away. Kody Brown wanted to sell Coyote Pass years after the family purchased the 14-acre plot of land they planned to build on in Flagstaff. Eras. Kody confessed in the season premiere that he was ready to let the dream wither and able to build without paying off the full $820,000 price tag, which the family reportedly did in 2023. He told remaining wife Robyn Brown, I'd almost rather scrap it or sell it and then just start again somewhere else. As for Robyn, I can't talk about that, she responded. That is so not where I'm at. Janelle Brown left Kody Brown for this reason, while second wife Janelle Brown previously told the News we just kind of started to grow apart. Ultimately, it was Kody's lapses as a parent to some of their kids that pushed her to leave. The big spark for me was when his relationship broke down with my children and he didn't seem like he would move heaven and earth to fix it, explained the mom to Logan Brown, Madison Brown Brush, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown, Gabriel Brown, and Savannah Brown. And I thought, okay, that was what was really holding me here. Even when Kody broached the idea of reconciling in the November 3rd episode, it was a non-negotiable for Janelle. I don't know how I would ever reconcile with him and have him not have a relationship with my kids, she said. No, I'm going to always choose my kids. Kody Brown feels he's been excommunicated from his own family. That was the explanation Kody gave for not working harder to mend the rifts he was experiencing with several of his adult children. I don't fit in the family anymore, he griped in the September 15th episode, noting he was still fully married to Robyn and parenting their 5 kids together. Dayton Brown, Aurora Brown, Brina Brown, Solomon Brown, and Ariella Brown, he added. And then, I have some relationship with some of the other kids, and it's infrequent. And so I'm like, what do I do with all of this? It doesn't feel like a family. Robyn Brown and Kody Brown's marriage was on shaky ground despite being truly monogamous for the first time in their 14-year union. We're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage, Robyn confessed in the season 19 premiere. It's been tough between us. He doesn't know who to blame, himself or one of the other wives. Kody's feeling a lot of rejection, and so I think he's kind of looking at me going, are you going to reject me too? As a result, she revealed, I'm on my toes. I'm having to consistently make sure Faith is not sabotaging our relationship. The hardest part, she summed up, there's no resource to help with the idea that I'm still married to a man who's going through divorces. Kody, meanwhile, was having a crisis of confidence, sharing, I can't look myself in the mirror and say, hey, dude, I love you. For Robyn, it was a struggle to watch her former sister wives embrace their new era. They're all moving on, she noted in the October 27th episode. I feel like the idiot that got left behind. Madison Brush isn't speaking to her dated Janelle's eldest daughter Madison to the list of kids Kody doesn't currently have a relationship with. I know that Maddie has not had any conversations with her dad, Janelle explained during the premiere. He's not called, she's not called him, and she doesn't have any relationship with Robyn. She's pretty much written them both off. At issue, said Janelle, is Kody having a half-hearted relationship with Maddie's kids Axel, Evangeline, and Josephine. She doesn't really want him to have any contact unless he can commit to it. As a result, Janelle shared in the Sept 22 episode, Kody did sort of cut off communication with Maddie and her husband Caleb Brush, whose sister was married to Kody's brother when the family started to really dissolve. With Kody not visiting or calling, Maddie has been mama bear to the extreme, added Janelle. She has felt like until he can be consistent and show up and not be dramatic that she feels like it's probably better if they don't know about him. And while Robyn noted she's been encouraging Kody to reach out and mend things, she said, I think the kids should be doing the same thing too. For now, though, Kody doesn't seem ready to repair the rift, griping that every time he spoke to his daughter, it was a fish for gossip and I got tired of it. Kody Brown once claimed he never loved Meri Brown. Is meant to be multiplied, not subtracted. And yet Kody admitted he did just that with his previous claims that he never loved his ex-wives. It's more of like a knee-jerk reaction, he said during the June 15th one-on-one special, insisting he was reeling from them trashing him. I was deep in the throes of reactionary vitriol for the past 3 years, which is why, he said, he alluded to Meri that he never truly loved her while they were spending their anniversary together. Recounting the conversation to a pal in a September 2024 episode, Meri insisted she knew he loved her. But if he didn't, the mom to Leon Brown said in a confessional, why did he ever propose? When a single young man meets a single young woman, why would he choose to marry her and just affirm and force love for her when he didn't love her? She wondered, how cruel is that to pick me out of a crowd and just be like, I pick you too. Tried to force myself to love for the next 32 years. Kody's response, he shared in his own confessional, Oh, Meri has her little accusations now though. He would share that they never enjoyed a honeymoon period. This marriage was on the rocks the entire marriage, he insisted on the October 20th episode. And how would I know that? Because I had such a better relationship with Janelle, with Christine, with Robyn. But he stayed out of fear, noting leadership. We'll never allow you to marry again if you're discarding wives. Janelle Brown threatened legal action against Kody Brown though she was undecided on if she'd like to build on Coyote Pass or simply sell it off. Janelle noted that step one was paying off the Arizona property. And with Kody unwilling to talk to her about the situation, I think I'm going to have to lawyer up, she confessed to former sister wife Christine Brown in the September 22nd episode. Because I think that's the only way I'm ever going to get any kind of decision out of him. And Janelle acknowledged that without a legal marriage to Kody, I really have no legal rights to make any kind of claim on Kody's property. As she put it, it's not like I'm just calling a lawyer and saying I need to divorce this person. No, it's really complicated because there's no legal marriage. Kody Brown supposedly divulged private information to his other wife Scotty's explanation for not talking with Janelle about their Arizona property is that he no longer trusted her. We will pay off the property when the time comes, he insisted in a confessional during the September 22nd episode, and I'm not giving you any details about what I'm doing or whatever because I'm tired of disclosing information that goes through the gossip mill of our broken family, a bit of a pot calling the kettle black, Janelle said in her own interview. He leaks like a sieve, she shared. He told me stuff about his other relationships and his other wives that I was like, I don't think you're supposed to be telling me that. Family money paid for Robyn Brown's house back when the family's love was still multiplying rather than dividing. They used to pool their money into one pot. We would use all the resources to help one person. Then we would all rally to support the other person. Janelle explained on the September 22nd episode. That's how it always worked until the last 10 years or so. And all of a sudden it's been about my estate and everyone needs their own estate. So when Robyn was in need of a home in Arizona, they all pitched in to buy her $1.65 million 5-bedroom spread which was listed for sale this past August. The intention was that it would be an asset for the family, said Robyn. But when Janelle suggested that they all put their names on the mortgage, she was rebuffed. Kody was like, no, we need to protect Robyn's estate, Janelle recalled. So now that she's extricating herself from the family, continued Janelle, she'd like her portion of the Coyote Pass proceeds and I'd like to recoup some of the money I put into Robyn's house. But that could be a tough sell. We were working together for so long, noted Robyn. And with Janelle saying she's owed money from them, Robyn added, it's like, how do you calculate? How do you figure that out? It's so confusing, Janelle Brown questioned how Kody Brown handled the family money, griping about the family's inability to pay off Coyote Pass. Janelle said Kody claimed to have all these other debts. And yet, she's watched him snap up other assets like trailers and home decor. I see all that on their walls, she said of Robyn and Kody's home. I see all these things, and that's fine. I have money and I've spent it on things. Too, for his part, Kody said much of his cash went to buying cars, basically had a fleet and insurance for the kids. And while Janelle acknowledged she wasn't sure how Kody and Robyn handled their finances, I used to always be surprised at how nice her backyard was. It was completely finished. And there was always, stuff at her house. And I was like, wow, bottom line, she said, he doesn't prioritize what I need or what I want. And that issue eventually wore her down. I think after a while, I began to see it and my kids were getting very angry about it. Like my adult children. Like, what the hell, Mom? Robyn's take, however, was that she was very careful with her budget after her first marriage fell apart. I used to be not so great with money, she shared during the September 22nd episode. When I was young, I had hard knocks, and then I learned during my divorce really how to budget myself very, very well. As for her fellow sister wives, she said, "You just must have had a different priority of where your money was going to go than I did. That's all." Janelle Brown and Christine Brown will see their kids as the core group of the familia at the moment. Janelle acknowledged in the September 22nd episode, while she and Christine mom to Aspen Brown, Kody Brown Padron, Peyton Brown, Gwendolyn Brown, Isabel Brown and Truly Brown get together with their broods. There's no contact, really, with Meri or Robyn or Kody. I don't really foresee that's going to change much. Kody Brown thinks his wife's leaving hurt his relationship with the kids, calling their setup with 4 homes on one cul-de-sac during their stretch in Las Vegas the best time of my life, Kody said. Everything was going along smoothly and Maddie and Caleb were around and it was great having them around. And I loved Caleb. He was definitely like family. But things started to fall apart in Arizona as they clashed over coronavirus-related precautions. Then when his marriages fell apart, he said his bonds with the kids followed. It just made all those relationships go sour. But Christine insisted there were issues well before she announced she was leaving in late 2021. All the kids that were frustrated way before I left, she said on the September 22nd episode. My leaving didn't change his kids' relationship with him. Kody can still fix his relationships with his children, though it'll definitely take some work. I'm so angry about how I've been treated that I haven't gotten past that, Kody explained. Here's the thing is I'm not willing to take blame for things that my wife or ex-wife is sitting there telling them that he did. I hope the time comes when the contempt will subside. We'll be able to find forgiveness and love again. Kody Brown said his marriage to Meri Brown was miserable. Kody revealed he and Meri didn't know each other all that well when they wed both spiritually and legally at the age of 21 and 19, respectively. They eventually filed for divorce in 2014 so Kody could legally adopt Robyn's 3 eldest children from her first marriage. When we got married, she was very different, and I think just there's some baggage that Meri had that I didn't know about, Kody explained. Initially, I felt like I could live with it, claiming that everything was a fight. He said, I can't live in a world where she is constantly angry at me, yet he was unable to leave. A man in plural marriage said, Kody, if he wants to stay faithful and in the faith, he cannot request a divorce. It's not allowed, so I was not able to get out of that relationship. At the same time, I didn't necessarily want out of the relationship. I wanted to know if we could save and fix it, hence the mixed messages he acknowledged of Meri thinking they would work everything out, but every time they were together, continued Kody, she wasn't nice, she wasn't fun, she wasn't kind, she wasn't interesting. I'm trying to be curious with her and I'm bored. To be fair, he added, he could see why Meri felt abandoned, but I didn't kick me out. Christine, Janelle and Meri all chose to have me leave the home. Kody Brown didn't agree with Meri Brown. Wanting a spiritual divorce, Janelle and Christine felt they didn't need to divorce Kody because their marriage was never legal. Meri asked their church for an official separation, called a release, in late 2022, when each of us, for ladies, married Kody. It was through our church, she explained in the September 22nd episode. Obviously, we can't all be legally married, but it was what we called a covenant. So I feel like it's best to terminate that because we're not moving forward with any marriage and I don't want to be, like, sealed to him for eternity if he doesn't want me. And I'm at a place that, like, let's just separate this completely. Kody was resistant to the idea, she added, not wanting to acknowledge the authority of the church leaders. The damage was done so badly that we're not going to reconcile. No matter what, Kody explained of his stance. And so, however, we are made accountable to God. I don't want to be accountable to this church and all their BS. So I'm going to let Meri go and do her thing because if I'm angry at her, it becomes a fight. And I needed her just to go away because it just took forever for her to finally realize it's been done and over for years. Many of Kody Brown's kids aren't speaking to each other. Text message discussion over a 2021 holiday gift exchange turned particularly ugly for the 18 Brown offspring. It all went bad. It all went south, detailed Christine. Kody and Robyn and their kids were on one side, and they wanted nothing to do with Janelle, me, our kids. And there was a split that happened after this text thread. Robyn's take was that her 3 older kids felt the exchange was emotionally unsafe and said they needed to take a step back from the relationship. But it was never anything about, "We don't want to see you again. We don't want anything to do with you," she insisted. It was just about, like, "Hey, this got yucky." For his part, Gabriel is hoping that they could find their way back to each other. "The thing I want most is to just have a relationship with Robyn's children again," he confessed in the October 13th episode. "In middle school, Aurora was my favorite person to hang out with. And in high school, I would always try to hit Dayton up. But I'm not hopeful for a relationship with Dad and Robyn. Robyn Brown's kids never felt welcomed into the family. I have been told directly, multiple circumstances by multiple different people, that I was not accepted," Aurora insisted of. "Coming into the family when her mom wed Kody in 2010, that I was not their sister, that they didn't consider or see me that way." And her sister Brina said she felt the parents could have done a better job with, connecting us as a family, and it never really happened. But Christine isn't sure how they could have opened their arms any wider. Robyn's kids and Robyn were invited to everything, she insisted. "I would just say, just come into the house anytime you want." Meanwhile, she added, her daughter Isabel Brown was very close to Robyn's kids, and my Kody Brown Padron even lived with them for a stretch. There were hard times, and my kids were frustrated, but they always considered Robyn's kids their siblings just the same. Janelle Brown would do plural marriage again. Kody Brown wouldn't gushing about the independence she was afforded. Janelle said of plural marriage, "When it's functioning correctly, you have this amazing family unit that you're part of, a community that you're plugged into. You have a husband and you have a great relationship with him, and you have everything right. And then I have all my independence." So to me, plural marriage really was a really great arrangement. Kody, however, wouldn't say "I do" to polygamy again. Polygamy kills emotional intimacy, he opined on the December 1st episode. "It makes everybody defensive, and I really want an emotionally vulnerable, intimate relationship with a woman, and you're not going to get that in polygamy." Kody Brown started distancing himself from Janelle Brown years ago to hear Janelle tell Kody had a tougher time dividing his love after the family decamped from Las Vegas to Arizona in 2018 when he moved to Flagstaff. Kody found it a lot easier to be away, she noted on the September 29th episode. "A couple of times I had to remind him that he needed to come to my house," revealing he tried to beg off because he was tired. She shared, "I'm really tired. I'm like, well, you can rest at my house just as much as you can rest at Robyn's house." Janelle Brown and Christine Brown Wooley's kids didn't love going to Robyn Brown's home, detailing the separateness her brood felt with Robyn. Janelle claimed, "My children were scolded if they would open up Robyn's fridge." For Christine's kids, though, the issue was that they saw that Robyn and their dad were a couple and he wasn't in our home. And Robyn said her crew definitely felt the divide. "Meri, across the board, was very accepting of my kids and I, but the rest of the family really struggled to accept my kids and I," she shared on the September 29th episode. "All we wanted to do was be a part of this family." But Gabriel would argue that he and his siblings went to great lengths to bring them into the fold. "I think that Robyn definitely has a victim complex," he said in the October 13th episode. "I mean, to put it bluntly, and I don't necessarily blame her for that. I think that different people do, devise different strategies to keep themselves afloat. However," he continued, "if she actually believes that we were mistreating her or her children in any way when she was constantly getting favorited by Dad and we were always working on our relationship with her kids, if she actually believes that, then there's no chance of me having a relationship with Robyn ever again." Janelle Brown questioned Robyn Brown and Kody Brown's parenting, having their dad shuffle between 4 different homes did have an effect on Kody's 18 kids, he detailed during the September 29th episode, sharing the time that his and Robyn's youngest, Ariella, who was born in January 2016, clung to his leg as he was trying to leave. I had to explain to her, there's another wife that needs me, another mommy. I got other kids that need to see me, Kody described. And she's just dragging along on my legs screaming, don't leave me, daddy, don't leave me. And I'm like, golly, man, this is hard. Unfortunately, that's just a reality of plural marriage, insisted Janelle. From the very beginning, she explained her kids knew that their dad was not going to always be there. I always felt like that Kody and Robyn mismanaged the situation with her children. He couldn't be away for more than 3 or 4 days because Zeri just gets so sad or whatever. I'm like, I feel like that was poor parenting. Through all history of the family, the other kids did it and they're fine. They're well-adjusted adults. That why TLC'G Padron had a very close relationship with Robyn Brown, known of the few Brown kids who was still close to both Robyn and Kody and Christine and Janelle. Mom of 3, Mykelti took on the role of peacekeeper during Kody's divorces. Tight with Robyn from the moment she entered the Brown family, Mykelti even invited her to be at the November 2020 birth of her twins Archer and Ace. When Robyn first joined the family, I was trying to figure out who I was. And she made me feel special and she made me feel seen, Mykelti explained during the September 29th episode. Robyn was there for me when I needed somebody. She was there for me when I needed somebody to hear me, to love me. And her mom, Christine, couldn't have been more thrilled when Robyn came in the family, and it was obvious her and Mykelti had a great relationship. It was everything that I hoped for, Kristen shared. Know the October 6th episode. When I was so excited about having a plural family, I was hoping that my kids would have a great relationship with other moms. One of Kody Brown's kids claimed he brainwashed them because he feels it's not only his wives who subtracted him from their lives. They're purposefully leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit, he explained during the October 6th episodes, giving his take on his estrangement from some of his older kids. I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers. What's more, he continued, he think his former spouses are a bit to blame with this disparity in relationship with my children is specifically in my mind because of ST talk, he said. There's this whirlwind of disappointment from the family breaking up or whatever. And it's like, well, blame dad. Dad screwed up. But while he can shoulder a bit of that blame, he takes umbrance with the name-calling, revealing, specifically, that he was struggling to connect with Hunter, Maddie and Gabriel. Kody shared that one of his kids responded to a text saying, "You are a piece of trash. I would never speak to you again anyway." In a separate incident, he told cameras, "I've had one of my kids just say, 'You're in a hole. I'm never talking to you again. You manipulated me and you brainwashed me, and it's that venom he's not willing to deal with. I'm not going to reach out forever," he said, noting he thinks his adult children should be doing more to fix things. I'm willing to make the effort, but somebody else is going to have to be on the other end of that and make some effort too. Robyn Brown was struggling to respect Kody Brown as a parent for Robyn, watching Kody's estrangement from his adult children hit far too close to home. When I was little, my parents got a divorce, she explained during the October 6th episode. He lived with one wife in another city, and then my mom lived alone. I remember confronting my biological father saying, "What happened? Why?" All he really did was just make a bunch of lame excuses as to why he wasn't there for me when I was young, and it just sucked. So, no, she wasn't about to allow Kody's hurt feelings stop him from making an effort. I'm having a hard time not, feeling like losing respect for you a little bit, she shared during their explosive on-camera argument, which took place in late 2022. And though Kody acknowledged he could be doing more to mend his relationship with his kids, he said he needs to mend his heart first. Saying he feels some of his kids are colluding against me, he revealed, "I'm so angry about what has happened that if I talk to my kids, I'm worried that they'll trigger me with an accusation. I'm too hot-headed right now. All I'll do is more damage." Kody Brown went years without seeing his grandchildren. Much of the family was in attendance when Janelle and Kody's oldest Logan wed now wife Michelle Petty in October 2022. They weren't really feeling the love. "You saw Madison take her kids and scuttle them away from me," Kody complained to Robyn in the October 6th episode, noting that his daughter hadn't told him she was expecting her third baby, daughter Josephine, who arrived in February 2023. She never told me she was pregnant. Frankly, Maddie doesn't tell her dad much of anything with the two rarely speaking. Really, Maddie doesn't have any contact with him. Janelle explained of why her daughter steered clear of Kody at the wedding. "She is very protective of her children. Kody has not been there since Evia was born and Evia's 3.5. And she didn't want him to just drop in and be like, 'Oh, I'm your grandpa,' and then be like, 'What? Who is this guy?'" Kody's take: "It's unrealistic expectation for grandparents to be in their grandchildren's lives all the time," he said, referencing Maddie's life in North Carolina, "especially if you move your children to an entirely different coast. I have work and a life in Flagstaff." Kody Brown wanted his kids to apologize to Robyn Brown while it's clear that Kody and his adult children have very different viewpoints of their ongoing estrangement. One sticking point